When we hear the name Nelson Mandela, we think of peace, resilience, and justice. But behind that legacy lies a man who endured unimaginable pain and emerged with a message that would change the world. What Mandela taught us about power, pain, and forgiveness isn't just history, it's a guide for the human soul. Mandela wasn't born a hero. He became one through fire, hardship, and unimaginable choices. Growing up in rural South Africa, he witnessed the rising cruelty of apartheid. He didn't look away. He resisted, first through peaceful means, then when the government responded with brutality. Through sabotage not out of hate, but necessity. The system left no room for his voice. For that, he was branded a terrorist, hunted, arrested, and locked away for 27 years. That's not just a prison sentence. It's a lifetime, a generation. In the stone cells of Robben Island, Mandela lost nearly everything: his freedom, his family, his place in the world. He broke rocks by day and endured silence by night. He missed the laughter of his children, the milestones of his people. Yet something powerful happened. He didn't grow bitter. He grew wiser. Because Mandela understood something most never learn. Real power isn't about domination. It is about self-control. He could have emerged from prison burning with rage, but when he finally walked out, he carried no vengeance. He carried vision, a vision of peace, unity, and reconciliation. He showed us that the measure of a person isn't how they treat their friends. It is how they treat their enemies. And Mandela treated his enemies like future allies. He invited his jailers to his inauguration. He shared the Nobel Peace Prize with the president of the regime that imprisoned him. Why? Because forgiveness wasn't weakness, it was strategy. It was strength. But before forgiveness, there was pain, decades of it. Mandela missed seeing his children grow up. He was silenced, isolated, and turned into a symbol while still a man of flesh and blood. That kind of pain could have destroyed him. Instead, he used it to refine his character. To Mandela, pain was a teacher. It taught him patience, discipline, and vision. While others cracked under pressure, he trained his mind. He read, studied, debated. He prepared not just for freedom, but for leadership. He knew that pain, when left unprocessed, turns to poison. But when faced and transformed, it becomes wisdom. Perhaps Mandela's greatest act of leadership wasn't after prison, but in how he forgave. He didn't excuse apartheid. He didn't forget what had been done. But he chose not to repeat the cycle. He helped create the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, not to punish, but to reveal, to heal, to let the nation speak. Because truth, even when painful, is the first step toward freedom. Mandela's forgiveness was revolutionary. Not emotional, but deliberate. He understood that the future of South Africa depended on letting go of the past without erasing it. Forgiveness became his foundation, not to forget, but to transcend. Not to ignore the pain, but to our eyes above it. He led not from open wounds, but from healed scars. And perhaps one of the most overlooked parts of his story is what he did after becoming president. He walked away. He served only one term. Though loved, admired, and powerful enough to rule for life, he chose to step down. Because he knew that true power isn't in holding on, it is in knowing when to let go. Mandela proved that leadership isn't about control, it's about impact. While others chased titles, he chased transformation. When it was time, he handed over the baton quietly, humbly, powerfully. And that's what made him eternal. His life was never about him. It was always about something greater. That's why his legacy isn't just in statues or speeches, it lives in choices, and how we treat others, and the questions he left us with. When someone hurts you, will you seek revenge or understanding? When pain comes, will you hide or grow? When given power, will you dominate or heal? Mandela handed us a mirror, and in it, we see who we are and who we could become. He showed that greatness isn't born, it's built. Through discipline, through resilience, through a refusal to give up on humanity. He showed that one person, just one, can break the cycle of hate, can choose to walk out of a prison and into a presidency with open arms, not as a victim, but as a leader. He showed us we can lead too, not with grand gestures, but with quiet courage, not with titles, but with truth, not with anger, but with hope. Mandela wasn't superhuman. He was deeply human, and in that humanity, we find our roadmap. So today, ask yourself, am I willing to forgive, even if they never said sorry? Am I ready to let go of the bitterness I've held for too long? Can I choose peace when pride is easier? Can I lead, even in my own small way? Because if Mandela could endure injustice without becoming unjust, if he could forgive without forgetting, if he could use power to build bridges instead of walls, then we can too. This is the challenge he left us, not to worship him, but to walk in his footsteps, to take his wisdom and make it our own, to lead with light, not fear, and to remember, always, that the world doesn't need more heroes. It needs more people willing to heal.